I guess. And we are looking at some isolated rain chances across western parts of our coverage area. We'll take a look at if we can squeeze out any showers for Tuesday in the full forecast.
And a prominent Madison Democrat is the latest to enter the race to succeed Tony Evers as the next governor of Wisconsin.
Plus, Badger coach Luke Fickell looks forward after the loss Saturday at Alabama as the Big Ten schedule begins this week. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Thanks for staying with us at 5, everybody. Feels like summer again outside. Yeah, there might be a few showers possible west of Madison.
Let's check in with Blaze now. Any rain on Radar 3000?
A little bit of rain moving through parts of northwestern Juneau County, but everybody else is continuing to remain dry. It looks mostly clear on our Upland Hill sky cam there in Dodgeville, where it's 86 degrees with a light easterly wind. We don't have much of a heat index, so it feels like 86 degrees. As I mentioned, a little bit of shower activity moving through northwestern parts of Juneau County. We'll take it in as close as we can. This it was at one point a little bit of a thunderstorm as well, but it's beginning to move into Findlay, staying north of Armenia. This has been pushing through parts of Monroe County over the last hour or so. This is probably going to be our only rain that we see today. And much like today, folks further west, you could be dealing with that rain chance as we head into Tuesday as well. And much like today, it is going to be isolated. Tonight, we're looking at clear to mostly clear conditions, a little bit more cloud cover off towards the west. That's going to keep us in the low to mid 60s. Everybody else settling into the upper 50s, if not the low 60s. Most of the fog is going to be really limited to the Lake Michigan shoreline, so we're not anticipating a foggy start to your Tuesday. A couple more rain chances in the extended forecast, and we'll take a look at those in the full forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Blaze, thank you. Madison police are investigating after a 19-year-old arrived at a UW Health clinic with a gunshot wound. Officers were called to the clinic Friday afternoon. Police say the teen and suspects had arranged a meeting near East Main at South 4th Streets, and during that meeting, there was some sort of altercation and the teen was shot. No arrests have been made. If you have any information regarding the shooting, you're asked to call Madison Police or Madison Area Crime Stoppers. Well, now to an update on an Amber Alert case up in Portage County. The biological mother of a 6-year-old child who went missing last week is now in police custody. 31-year-old Chelsea Lehman facing charges related to the disappearance of Ruby Lehman. Last week, Ruby was reported missing from her grandmother's home in Ullman. That's about a half hour south of Stevens Point. Chelsea is scheduled to appear in court tomorrow.
Oregon police are asking for your help to find a missing 17-year-old girl who is believed to be with an older man. Cadence Lee was last seen Friday in the village of Oregon. She is 5'2". She was last seen wearing black yoga pants and a long-sleeved gray shirt that has a headquarters logo on it. The man, described to be in his 30s or 40s, has black hair, a mustache, and a sleeve tattoo on one of his arms. According to law enforcement, he drives a dark green 2015 to 2017 Chevy SUV. Police believe Cadence's most recent possible sighting was yesterday around 4:30 in the afternoon at the Goodwill, the shop located at East Spring Drive in Madison. If you have any information on Cadence's whereabouts, please call Oregon Police Department.
Well, there's a new candidate in the race to replace Governor Tony Evers. Madison State Senator Kelda Roy is announcing her candidacy today.
Our Ellie LaLiberte sat down with Senator Royce one-on-one to talk about her campaign. Ellie?
Well, this is the campaign video Senator Royce released this morning. Now, in it, she calls President Trump and Elon Musk extremists while championing herself as an advocate for unions and abortion rights. Now, this is the second time she's running for governor, the first being in 2018. Now, before that, she served in the state assembly from 2009 to 2013. She then opened a small business after the term. Then in 2021, voters elected her to the state Senate, where she serves the Madison area. But she says now she's focusing her campaign on lifting up the middle class.
We need to be expanding access to health care for people, especially at a time when health care options are disappearing and the costs are skyrocketing. We also need to look at housing costs, right? There's a lot that we need to do to help Wisconsinites thrive and make ends meet, and that's what I'm basing my campaign on.
Senator Royce also says she's prepared to work with Republicans and is proud of her bipartisan record. Now, this is the first time in roughly 15 years that the race for governor is open with no incumbent running. So let's take a look at who's already announced in the race. In the Democratic primary, we have Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, and beer vendor Ryan Sternad. Then on the other side of the ticket is Milwaukee businessman Bill Berrien and Washington County Executive Josh Schoeman. Now, the official primary for the gubernatorial race is scheduled for Tuesday, August 11th of next year.
All right, Ellie, thank you. Madison Metro Transit bus drivers are no longer working without a contract. After 9 months of negotiations, the new contract between the city and the union representing Metro employees increases pay and safety measures. It includes a 3% pay increase each year and a one-time bonus to keep up with inflation. It also gives each employee personal protection equipment. This after several Metro drivers were attacked on the job early this year.
This contract we penned in and we ratified some language on our internal assaults protocol committee, and we also added a couple days of paid administration leave into the contract for our employees that, unfortunately, if this ever happens again, we hope it doesn't, but if it does, we have some agreements in the contract on how we're going to take care of those employees.
The contract will be introduced for adoption at the next Common Council meeting, and that will happen tomorrow.
Well, you probably noticed your grocery bill is higher lately, especially when it comes to the price of beef. It's shot through the roof, up 13.9% annually in August. Americans were paying about $5.58 a pound a year ago. Now it's up to $6.32 a pound. But according to an S&P Global report, despite those sky-high prices, Americans have not cut back on beef this year.
When prices of protein go up the way they have been going, especially with beef, consumers will switch to another protein. But we just haven't seen that yet with consumers, and beef still is the choice protein to go to.
Now, the Department of Agriculture's projection suggests the price of beef could shoot even higher in 2026. And while protein is incredibly important for our health, consuming too much at the expense of other types of nutrition does come with some risks. Weight Watchers International says fiber gets lost in the protein hype, but it deserves just as much, they say, if not more attention, while trends like the carnivore diet are concerning.
It's extremely restrictive, cutting out nearly all plant foods, which are going to be rich sources of fiber and vitamins, minerals, and then phytochemicals that are linked to long-term health.
Weight Watchers says a good rule of thumb for more sedentary adults is about 1 gram of protein per kilogram of weight. So for a person who weighs about 150 pounds, that translates to about 68 grams of protein every day.
Well, experts at the UW School of Medicine and Public Health are raising awareness about the important connection between hearing and memory. Doctors say 1 in 3 people over the age of 60 have hearing loss, and 1 in 2 people over 85 have hearing loss. The condition is increasingly being recognized as a risk factor for cognitive decline, including Alzheimer's disease. But doctors say it's one of 3 risk factors for dementia that can be treated. Oh, sorry about that. We couldn't hear her. But currently, the School of Medicine at the UW is running clinical trials to see if over-the-counter hearing aids will help people who are already living with cognitive impairments or memory and thinking problems.
Well, the Badger football team returns to Camp Randall this week with a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, tough weekend with those Crimson Tide.
Yeah, they're very
easy. Yeah, never easy is right. Our Nash Dara joins us now in studio to tell us how are the Badgers going to get ready to move on to Maryland. Nash?
Eric and Susan, the Badgers squad is back in Madison after a humbling trip to Tuscaloosa, as you said. This past Saturday, Wisconsin's first road game of the season ended in a 38-14 loss to the Alabama Crimson Tide. A result that turned plenty of eyes toward head coach Luke Fickell. Now in his 3rd year at the helm, Fickell has hovered around the 500 mark during his tenure in Madison. The Badgers sit at 2-1 on the season, but with a game against Maryland and a bye week ahead, they're getting prepared to stare down one of the toughest upcoming stretches in all of college football.
We have to make sure that we aren't just focused on the destination. Saturday will take care of itself. We know there's going to be some ups and downs. We know there's going to be some shots. How we handle those is going to be a really big deal, because the consistency that we need to play with and we need to grow with is going to be what's going to give us the best opportunity, whether it's this Saturday, the following Saturday, 2, 3, 4, 5 Saturdays from now.
Billy Edwards' status for Saturday is still unknown, but Eric and Susan, if Wisconsin's QB1 can return against his former team, it might just be the spark that this Badger team needs.
All right, Nash. I think they might rest him another week, though. Is it a bye week after that?
Oh, that's right.
It'd be nice to get him healthy.
And Nash, welcome aboard, by the way. Great job.
Good to have you on the team.
Next at 5, investigators are searching for a motive after the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
And the Trump administration and China reach a deal. The new agreement focused on keeping TikTok here in the U.S.
And travel experts say now is a great time to book a trip. How much you could save by vacationing in the fall.
Strong gains to start the week on Wall Street. The Dow adding 49 points, and NASDAQ up 208, and the S&P 500 gains 31. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Officials in Utah have not yet released a motive in the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
The suspect is under special watch as he awaits his first court appearance tomorrow. Utah's governor said the suspect, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, is not talking to investigators, but they have heard from those around him, including his roommate.
The roommate was a romantic partner, a male transitioning to female. This partner has been incredibly cooperative, had no idea that this was happening, and is working with investigators right now.
Utah's governor adding that investigators are trying to figure out if that person's identity is relevant to the case. The Utah County Attorney is expected to file formal charges tomorrow before the suspect's first court appearance.
The Trump administration has reached a framework of a deal with China to keep TikTok active in the U.S.
It comes as the administration continues to grapple with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Erica Brown has the latest from the White House.
Following talks with Chinese officials in Spain, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent made this announcement.
We have a framework for a TikTok deal. The two leaders, President Trump and Party Chair Xi, will speak on Friday to complete the deal.
It comes after President Trump posted on social media a deal was also reached on a certain company that young people in our country very much wanted to save, but the Trump administration is not offering any specifics.
We're not going to talk about the commercial terms of the deal. It's between two private parties.
In January, the Supreme Court upheld a law banning the Chinese-owned platform because of national security concerns, but President Trump has repeatedly delayed its enforcement while trying to negotiate an agreement.
We were very focused on TikTok and making sure that it was a deal that is fair for the Chinese and completely respects U.S. national security concerns.
The talks come as the Trump administration continues to react to the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Monday, Vice President J.D. Vance hosted Kirk's podcast from his office.
Every single person in this building, we owe something to Charlie.
Joining Vance, White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller accused left-wing organizations of inciting violence.
We are going to use every resource we have at the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and throughout this government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks.
President Trump says he will attend Kirk's funeral in Arizona Sunday. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
CBS News has confirmed the Trump administration is asking Congress for $58 million to increase security for the executive and judicial branches following Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Well, some people saw sun today, others a bit more cloudy.
Blaze, is it going to stay that way moving forward? Summer locked in this week?
Summer has locked in, as the kids say, and it is here for the rest of the week. And much like today, further to the west, we're going to be dealing with that a little bit more cloud cover than folks in central and eastern parts of southern Wisconsin. Temperatures, though, are pretty much going to stay the same on Tuesday for everybody, underneath the cloud cover or not. The low to mid 80s. Later this week, we do look to cool on down as we head towards the weekend, but we're still going to be staying above average. Temperatures tomorrow about 10 degrees above average in the low to mid 80s. And as I mentioned earlier, a little bit more cloud cover, partly sunny conditions off towards the west. An isolated shower or thunderstorm can't be ruled out, but in terms of heavy rain or a washout day, that's not looking like it's in the cards. These are just going to be hit or miss showers on the edge of this exiting high pressure system. That's where we're going to find a lot of that cloud cover over Tuesday night into Wednesday as well. Winds are remaining out of the southeast, so that's going to help bump our temperatures up again into those low to mid 80s. And then we begin to get out of this high pressure system, and that's going to allow more of that cloud cover and that rain chance to move into more of central parts of Wisconsin starting later Thursday into Friday. You'll see that here on Future Track. We say goodbye to the high pressure system and we start to see what looked to be a pretty promising low pressure system. And that's since fallen apart. We're still going to see some rain with this low as it moves its way through the plains, but we're not going to see maybe that washout threat that we were thinking earlier as we head into the weekend. Hit or miss showers and thunderstorms Saturday. That continues into Saturday night and then continues into Sunday as well. Finally, this latest low will move out of here as we go Sunday night into Monday. That will usher in a little bit of some cooler air for the weekend. We've got the rain, we got the cloud cover at times as well. But again, we are still going to be staying above average even as we head into the weekend. Still about 5 or so degrees above average, not compared to where we will be tomorrow and Wednesday, but even as we look even beyond the weekend into the start of next week, we're still trending warmer than average because again, even as we cool down, our average high temperature is cooling down as well. So if the forecast is 74, but the average high is 73. It is a warmer than average day. So we're going to continue to remain warmer than average as we go not only through the extended forecast, but possibly beyond that into the end of September. The darker the color, the higher the confidence. So we're sitting at about a 60 to 70 to 70 to 80% chance of being warmer than average from the 21st through the 25th. And then that bullseye, that really high confidence moves back over more of Wisconsin as we get closer to the end of September. So it started off as a cooler than average month, maybe flipping as we go into the second half of September. So it looks like we're sitting at about 70 to 80% chance of being warmer than average there towards the end of the month. There's a look at your 7 and 10 day forecast. A couple rain chances, hit or miss through at least Thursday. I would say a better chance for more scattered showers that might impact your day beginning Friday through the weekend. And then the upcoming work week looks to remain dry for the most part with 70s sticking with us and sunny conditions next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
All right, Blaze, thank you. And still to come at 5 with the drop in temperatures comes a drop in travel prices. We'll hear from travel experts on how you can get the best bang for your buck this fall.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Moving forward.
Welcome back. As the temperatures cool, so do prices for airfare and hotels.
Travel experts say fall is a great time to book a trip and to save. Jen Sullivan has more on how you can score some big savings right now.
Do you have the end of summer blues and want to get away? Now is the perfect time to book a trip.
Travel's all about supply and demand.
Emily Kaufman, known as the Travel Mom, says now through mid-November, airlines and hotels start slashing prices.
Destinations are less crowded, kids are back in school, and it's what we call the shoulder season.
Many places in Europe offer major discounts on hotels during the fall.
You can still see spectacular weather throughout the fall in places like Europe.
If you want to travel to see some beautiful fall colors, Whistler, Canada is a great option. Your dollar will go further in Canada. The exchange rate as of Monday is $1.38 for every U.S. dollar. Many cruises have great deals this time of year. Royal Caribbean Cruises offers big savings for any cruise booked now through October 2nd. A second guest is 60% off with a full paying guest.
It is hurricane season during the fall, so you have to remember through the Caribbean and Mexico that this could be potentially a threat to your vacation experience.
Looking to travel somewhere warm domestically? San Diego offers great discounts for families in October. The entire month, kids under 11 get in for free at major attractions like the San Diego Zoo. That saves $66 per child over the age of 3 right there. SeaWorld and many other museums also have free admissions for kids in October. If you're looking to really save, Kaufman says the cheapest time to travel is the week of November 17th. That's the week before Thanksgiving. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
And Blaze is back. Final check of the weather when we return.
New options for those living with menopause, the possible answer to hot flashes and sleepless nights.
And it started as a search for community, but ended up being so much more. Our Eye on America shows how help can come in any form. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And after that, coming up at 6, we'll have continuing coverage after the city of Madison and the union representing its Metro bus drivers reach a new contractual agreement. We'll have that story, much more, coming your way top of the hour. News 3 now at 6.
It might feel a little early to be thinking about Christmas, but it's not actually, because kids can now, believe it or not, start sending their letters to Santa. Under Operation Santa, the U.S. Postal Service links letter writers with generous people and groups who can help grant their holiday wishes.
Santa can't wait to get those letters. They've been sitting around since last December. So some important tips here. The envelope needs to include the writer's full name and also the return address and Santa's address, of course. And if you need to know what that is, it is simply Santa, 123 Elf Road, North Pole, and then you just put the zip code. Very easy to remember the zip code here. It's 88888. Letters need to be postmarked by December 6th. For the first time, too, those who want to fulfill wishes can do so for multiple people all at once, and that can happen by adopting a family letter. Very cool.
Great idea.
Still feels like summer out there. I'm ready to wait for snow. I can wait a couple months, but I get this feeling, and we get this every year, where it like kind of skips right from the 80s. And then we'll have snow on the ground in a month.
Exactly.
And I've had people ask me already, what is this winter going to look like? I don't know. I don't know yet. I kind of want a little bit of snow, but I don't want it to be super cold.
Just the 24th and 25th.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Then we'll be done with the snow. No snow in the forecast. Instead, we're going to hang out in the 80s tomorrow after settling into the 50s and 60s tonight underneath clear to mostly clear conditions. As I mentioned before, we stick with the 80s for at least the next week or so. We say goodbye officially, or usually on September 26th. We don't say goodbye to the 70s until late October. So we're not really sitting underneath weather that we don't normally sit under. 70s and 80s through the extended forecast. Better chance for more widespread rain. Picks up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Until then, Tuesday and Wednesday can be much like today. Further west, better chance for rain. Further east, more sunshine.
70s until October 20th.
That's good stuff.
Can usually snow by Halloween. It's always cold on Halloween.
Yes, it is.
Blaze, thanks for joining us at 5. CBS Evening News is next. We're back in 30 minutes.
We'll be back here at 6. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. Have a great evening, everybody.